I'm sure you guys remember his ridiculous rhetoric shortly after that orange idiot took office. And it went from bad to worse. His trade policies, tariffs, inflammatory rhetoric, his neglect of basic human rights and concentration camps. And for 6 months, just as we saw this week again, trade talks on, trade talks off. His threats intensified. Our former good relationship with the US gone. And then one day Canadians had enough. A quiet movement began, a collective decision from coast to coast to coast to buy local and not to travel to the US. To fight back, not with shouts, but with our wallets. And this grassroots campaign is still going strong and leaves a multi-billion-dollar hole in the US economy. And now, 6 months after Trump launched his trade terrorism and insulted our national sovereignty with his 51st state BS, the Canadian travel and Baba boycott are still in full swing, with many shunning cross-the-border travel, prompting airlines to cancel US flights and curb capacity. The numbers do not lie. No matter how the American Demolition Project, formerly known as the White House, likes to spin it, the numbers tell a story of a dramatic retreat. In the first half of 2025, Canadian visits to the United States fell by 24%. But that was just the beginning. By mid-year, the drop was stuck. Air travel down 25.8%. Car trips plummeting by 37%. This is not a slump. This is a free fall. For the US, the consequences are severe. Canada is not just a visitor. For years, we have been the largest single source of international tourists to the US. 1/4 of all foreign arrivals come from us. In 2024 alone, Canadian tourists spent a staggering of $20.5 billion in the US. That river revenue is now dying out. The projected shortfall? A devastating $29 billion. And with that money, jobs vanish. A spokesperson for the US Travel Association issued a stark warning. A 10% decline could wipe out 14,000 American jobs. But amazingly, this decline is on pace to be much, much larger. The evidence is everywhere. Air Canada suspended 8 US routes in 2025, and smaller planes now serve popular destinations like Las Vegas.
Last year, the economic impact was at a record high, more than $87 billion. This year, things are different.
We're seeing double-digit drops in Vegas in particular, and I think that's going to be the story of international tourism in 2025 and going into 2026.
Comparing tourism statistics from June 2024 to June of 2025, visitor volume, convention attendance, and hotel occupancy are all down. This is according to the Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority. Clint Henderson, a travel expert with the Points Guy, says 2 major reasons for the tumbling tourism: prices and politics.
Everything costs money now, from comes for free anymore for Vegas, and that's how they really brought people in the past.
In 2023 and 2024, the majority of international travelers came from Canada and Mexico. Our neighbors to the south and north are in the White House crosshairs.
President Trump has been very vocal about wanting Canada to become the 51st state. Canadians have taken umbrage at that, and so they are showing their outrage by withholding tourism dollars, which is a good way for people to express themselves.
While President Trump's no tax on tips, Vegas's hospitality workers aren't making as much money as they anticipated because there are fewer tourists.
A lot of tip workers are saying that their earnings are down by as much as half this year.
But it's not.
Meanwhile, Air Canada added 28 new routes to Europe, the Caribbean, and South America. The pivot is deliberate and it is permanent. Behind the statistics, there are stories. In Virginia, distilleries planned to triple their business into Canada. Instead, it collapsed to zero. In New York, a golf resort owner looked over his empty fairways. 70% of his golfers were once Canadians. Now we are a rare sight on his golf course. He had to cut hours, lay off staff, and he knows we aren't coming back anymore. Canadians are just not happy, he said. It's those hurtful things that has been said about their country. A Seattle ferry service has seen ridership plunge by 30%. They have laid off a quarter of their workforce. The CEO calls it a grim decline.
Again, nice weather. A lot of business owners thought Fisherman's Wharf and other hotspots would be filled with customers, but they say that is simply not the case. They blame politics. Hop on, hop off. Those big red double-deckers are hard to miss in San Francisco. What's missing? International tourists.
Today, we've seen a total of 7 foreign tourists. Can you believe that? Just 7 people.
Sam Sohal, CEO of City Sightseeing, says most riders these days are domestic visitors, but even that number is down compared to last year.
This year so far, it's about 35% down. What was really shocking.
And now, it's the time of the year again, and the question looms, will the Canadian snowbirds return? The answer appears to be something like some might, the majority will not. A recent poll shows about 41% drop in Canadians likely to visit to the US this winter. Among the core snowbirds demographic, those aged 61 and older, the intent to travel has fallen by a dramatic 66%. Yes, we are not coming. And yes, I mean it, we are not coming either. My wife and I used to spend the winter in California, Arizona. Not anymore. Never, ever again.
Agency Travel Nevada says they're keeping a presence in Canada and recently campaigned in cities from Calgary, Edmonton, Red Deer, and Vancouver, and paid campaigns on popular sites. In a statement, Travel Nevada remains committed to promoting the state to Canadian travelers to protect our market share and recoup some of the recent losses.
So that relationship has...
Do you think they would go through all that trouble, spend all that campaign money, if our boycott would not hit them where it hurts? Oh, no flippin' way. So, what is driving this exodus? Political tension, trade dispute, the 51st state taunt, and insult after insult after insult from all levels of that disaster administration.
But comments like this one are unlikely to help.
There are reasons why the president and some of his team refer to Canada as being mean and nasty to deal with.
This is unheard of, whatever is happening, so support your own country.
And to some, that support means a staycation. Taria Isri, Global News, Montreal.
A fundamental rupture in the global order, but the response has been uniquely Canadian, organic and determined. The Buy Canadian and Baba Buy Anything But American campaigns are not government mandates. They are people mandated. An online survey found over 3/4 of Canadians support retailers removing US goods from store shelves. 2/3 are actively focusing on buying Canadian. And you know what? It's a pleasure to see customers in grocery stores not just grab a package and put it in their cart. No, they read the label and check where that product comes from. And it is a habit now, and it will stay for a while. The effect on specific industries are brutal. Exports of American spirits to Canada plunged by 85% in the second quarter. In April alone, sales crashed by 68%. Meanwhile, sales of Canadian spirit increased, and the provincial bans on American spirit remains in effect. And we hear this so often. I may never shop again without making sure it is a Canadian product. This message is clear, and it is inflicting real pain. The silence is deafening. The empty hotels, the quiet fairways, the empty shelves, they all tell the same story. This is not a blip, this is now reality. The reality where the Canadian consumer, the Canadian traveler, has found their voice. And that voice is saying, enough. Our collective action has power, a $20 billion power, a 14,000 job power. The campaign is still going strong and has a huge impact, my friends. But this is not the time for complacency. It is the time for resolve. Please continue to boycott. Buy Canadian, vacationing here or elsewhere abroad, but not in the US. The United States is learning a hard lesson. A lesson in respect and economics. They are learning what happens when Canada stays home. So my fellow Canadians, from coast to coast to coast, to every Canadian watching this, our message is united. We will continue to push. We will continue to speak out. And we will not stop this boycott. Because boycotts work. And it is the very best way to support Mark Carney's government. So let's do this. If you believe in this message of Canadian resilience, then please like this video, subscribe and click the bell. And please share your thoughts in the comments below. Let's show Americans that our voice is strong. Thanks for watching. Till next time, I'm Wilfried Lemkuler from Europe Curious.
You by our side, and we spent so many nights thinking how you did us wrong. Now we've banded all together. Your tariff made us strong, and so you know you're not so great. There's not a snowball's chance in hell will be your 51st state. We really need our resources for more than we need you, so now just go. Walk out the door. We do not need you. You're not welcome anymore. Weren't you the one who instigated these trade riots? You'll soon grow to regret it when we turn off your lights. We will survive. As long as we can think and work, we know we'll stay alive. We have all we really need. We can live without your greed. We will survive. We will survive. There's been a change. It's time anew. We're not that fledgling little country stealing all of you. We are now a nation proud that is happy to be free. You didn't realize you gave us our own identity, so now just go. We will survive. As long as we can think and work, we know we'll stay alive. Yeah, but all we really need, we can live without your greed. We will survive. We will survive. We will survive. Survive.
51st state, my fucking ass. Go on, Canola.